I've watched too many friends and family members snap up the cheapest mobility scooter they can find, only to discover a few weeks later that the battery quits after a couple of short trips, the seat wobbles on a gravel path, or the frame can't even handle a rider over 250 pounds. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The fear of that disappointment is what keeps a lot of people on the fence, especially when they're trying to balance comfort, safety, and a budget that won't break the bank. When you're looking at a scooter, the real question isn't how fast can it go or what's the top speed on paper. It's whether the machine will actually get you where you need to be day after day without turning a routine outing into a logistical nightmare. The Ecomobi outdoor heavy-duty mobility scooter tries to answer that question hidden by positioning itself as a rugged, long-range option built for adults and seniors who need more than a simple indoor glide. That makes it worth a closer look, especially if you've already been burned by budget-only models that can't survive a real-world drive. First off, the scooter is clearly aimed at a demographic that does a lot of outdoor travel. If you live in a suburban or rural area with uneven driveways, gravel roads, or even light off-road paths, you'll appreciate the 13-plus-inch tires that are sized for more than just smooth pavement. The full suspension setup does more than just smooth out a pothole. It actually lets a senior user stay upright and comfortable when they're navigating a farmer's market aisle that's a little bumpy from a recent rainstorm. I've spoken with a few owners in online forums who say they use their scooter to get to weekly grocery trips that are about 15 miles round trip, and the range they're reporting feels realistic for a 1000W motor paired with a decent battery pack. One of the biggest pain points people mention about cheaper scooters is the lack of adjustability. The Ecomobi offers 6-way adjustable seating, which means you can tilt the backrest, slide the seat forward or back, and raise or lower the footrests to fit a wide range of body types. For a rider who's 6 feet tall or someone who needs extra lumbar support, that flexibility can be the difference between a cramped ride and a relaxed one. It also helps the scooter accommodate the 500-pound bariatric capacity that the product advertises, a limit that most budget models simply don't approach. If you or a loved one sits near that upper limit, you'll want that extra sturdiness without worrying about the frame flexing or the motor stalling under load. Safety is another area where the cheaper alternatives tend to fall short. This model comes with rear-view mirrors, turn signals, and an audible warning system that alerts pedestrians when you're about to turn. Those aren't just nice-to-have features. They're practical tools for someone who might be riding in a residential neighborhood where kids are playing or where traffic is unpredictable. The intuitive control panel is laid out so you don't have to hunt for a hidden switch to change speed or turn on the lights. A single thumb lever manages acceleration, braking, and the built-in Bluetooth speaker. The speaker isn't a marketing gimmick either. It lets you listen to a favorite podcast while you're on a 20-minute ride to the community center without needing a separate device. Now, let's talk about the practical strengths that matter after the purchase. The storage compartments are surprisingly spacious for a vehicle of this size. One compartment sits beneath the seat and can hold a small grocery bag, while a larger rear bin can accommodate a week's worth of medication, a water bottle, or even a fold-up blanket for a quick picnic. There's also a USB charging port, which is handy if you're traveling with a phone that needs a quick top-up. The unbox and go promise isn't just marketing fluff. The scooter arrives fully assembled, which saves you the headache of spending an afternoon with an instruction manual and a set of wrenches. On the downside, there are a few trade-offs that potential buyers need to be aware of. Because the scooter is built for durability and high weight,